Ready to district play. Take on the Bulldogs from LaPorte. They're 3-6. And hello, everyone. Welcome inside with Jeff Powell. I'm Brett Dolan. Great to have you with us tonight. Jeff, a rivalry game. These teams love to go up against each other.
Yeah, it's District 21-5A. You might notice the LaPorte fans are wearing camouflage like they normally do when they get together with the Deer Park Deer. Why? Because they're deer hunting.
Let's start first with the Deer. The coach's son is a long-range bomber.
Yeah, Colin Means averages about 13 points a game. He is a star. In fact, he has a brother named Connor Means who played quarterback for Deer Park, who's a big part of their success in the football field. But as far as Colin is concerned, he only had 5 points the last time they played LaPorte, so that could be big tonight. They got to get him open.
Yeah, LaPorte won that game by 10. You know they would love to win both games so far in this season series. Let's stay on the sophomore theme because, boy, the Bulldogs have a good one.
Yeah, Alex Hobbs. In fact, those two played AAU ball together. Alex Hobbs scored 19 points the last time these two teams met. In fact, Hobbs averages about 17 a game, so watch out for those two, Means and Hobbs.
Should be a fun one. A couple of sophomores going head-to-head. The Deer Park Deer, the LaPorte Bulldogs, our opening tip in our starting lineups. Come your way next on the Legacy Sports Network.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
Fun overall, and can't wait to get this one underway, and it's the Bulldogs who will control first.
Yeah, great action here. Good chance to see these two teams. In fact, LaPorte has lost 4 straight games. They're trying to bounce back. They still got some playoff hopes in 21-5A alive.
First look at Alex Hobbs, and he buries a 3 from the baseline.
Well, we told you about Alex Hobbs. There you go, the 3-pointer from the outside corner, and a nice shot right there. They're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Deer average 54.5 points a game. Now, almost 30% of their field goals, Jeff, come from long range. So you see the Bulldogs out there in a man-to-man already.
Yeah, a little man-to-man. Both teams will probably run some man-to-man, but I think Colin Means is sort of going to be the key component here for Deer Park. We'll see if LaPorte puts a man on him, maybe even 2.
Try and keep them from those open looks. There's one coming from the corner from Tyler Mathis. In and out, the rebound to the big Michael Rodriguez, the 6'5 senior.
Yeah, plays tight end for the LaPorte football team. He's got that size.
Certainly does. Bulldogs also average 54.4 a game. Back-to-back open looks from Alex Hobbs. Already a timeout from Louis Means. Doesn't like the fact that maybe the most talented player on the floor has had 2 wide open looks and buried 2 3-point baskets.
Yeah, and you could tell from the looks at Alex Hobbs, he knows he's feeling it already. Putting up a couple of 3-pointers, says, hey, if you're going to give me this shot over here, I am going to take it.
We featured Hobbs in our open, 17.8 a game. But, Jeff, a couple of threes. He's made 39 3-pointers this year. He's almost out of bounds.
Yeah, he was practically touching the orange here on the corner out-of-bounds line. But I think he's one of those players that you give him an opportunity in that corner, he's going to take it from no matter where he is on the court. You see Barry Gibson there, the head coach from LaPorte. His team's 12-15, 3-5 in district play. They've got 2 big games they need to win here back-to-back, starting with this one tonight against Deer Park.
So after that early timeout from the Deer, they'll have the basketball down 6-0. They've taken just 1 shot. They're down a half a dozen. Nice backdoor cut in a basket from Austin Layton.
Austin Layton, a 6'1 junior guard, was wide open underneath. Good pass inside to him for the easy bucket.
He's a man that had 17 points in that game against LaPorte earlier this year. Won by 10 points from the Bulldogs, so he's off to a good start.
Deer Park, one of those teams where they've been in a lot of the games despite their record. A lot of close losses this year.
So one thing Barry Gibson would say, the LaPorte coach, he feels like this Deer Park team, again, they've been very competitive. He says that speaks to the difficultness of this district. A couple of extra steps for Tyler Mathis, and that's a traveling back to LaPorte.
Yeah, Tyler originally thought he was going to go up for a basket there, was inside the paint, but tried to kick it back out and took the extra step. Tyler Mathis at 6'5", kind of deceiving size there. Plays forward as a junior. A lot of juniors on this Deer Park team.
And Mathis draws the defensive assignment on Alex Hobbs. There's a deflection and a steal. Intercepted by Mercado. Back comes Omar Reyes. Strong up and under move, and he drew the contact and the foul from Michael Rodriguez.
Both of these teams played in the McDonald's Texas Invitational earlier this year. And these two squads have had their ups and downs through the year. LaPorte actually had won 5 in a row midway through the season around the holiday period, but they're trying to end that 4-game schneid right now.
Yeah, their last win came back on January the 10th against Channelview, a 13-point win. And there's a good look at Omar Reyes, a man shooting from the free throw line and gets his first point. So 1 out of 2 from Reyes. Drew Harris controls. You see that strong hedge from Reyes. Open on the low blocks from Cameron Ambush. Can't get the second opportunity to go. The Deer rise up on defense.
Yeah, big block underneath, and Cameron Ambush was definitely open, had 2 good looks right inside, as close as you can get to the rim, but couldn't get it to go.
Point blank shots. There is Colin Means getting open underneath the hoop, and that's his first basket of the game.
Means made that bucket and then took a hard shot to his back. Looks like he's okay, though. Only a sophomore. As we mentioned, he and Hobbs know each other pretty well.
Played together on some AAU teams. They'll be going head-to-head for several more years. A bit out of control was Britt Grant. And that's an offensive foul, and the Deer, after a couple of open looks, giving those 3-pointers to Hobbs, have had some fine defensive stands.
And you see this shot right here recently, the up and under, no good, but going the other way here with the call. By the way, we talked about Colin Means. His brother, Connor Means, already at the University of North Texas, was playing quarterback here about a month ago. Now he's quarterback over at North Texas.
Omar Reyes couldn't coax that in, the rebound to Hobbs.
Those are the kind of baskets that the Deer are going to need to get tonight if they want to win this game.
Boy, the Deer have had some active hands. They've had a few turnovers they've earned against the Bulldogs. They'll look to run. Layton up and under. They're too strong, and the rebound to Hobbs again.
Yeah, it was a nice effort, but a little bit out of control there. Couldn't get it to fall.
Hobbs is 3 for 3 from long range.
Man, that is a dangerous sign for Deer Park when Hobbs is hitting that 3-pointer the way he is. I know Louis Means already called a timeout earlier to talk things over with his Deer Park Deer. They got to find a way to get a man on him outside.
With 40 3-point baskets this season. Mercado got up in the air. Mercado with the scoop shot off the window.
Little dipsy doodle, as they say around here in Houston. That was a nice shot using that glass.
So it's a 9-7 game. Bulldogs with the advantage.
I think Gene Peterson made that famous Houston Rockets announcer, longtime announcer.
There's Cameron Ambush. Getting the ball back in the hands of Hobbs. Had to force that a bit. Doesn't get the roll. Up high for the rebound is Mercado again.
Not quite a man-to-man defense for Deer Park. I like what I'm seeing, though. Like you said, getting their hands on the ball.
Long-range shot from Means wouldn't find the mark. And there's a foul on Means.
That's a hustle foul. Colin Means picking up that foul right there. Got to be careful, though. But a head coach never minds seeing the hustle fouls, but got to be aware of where everyone is on the floor.
Ambush controls, and there's Hobbs again. You see Hobbs being pushed a bit beyond that arc.
Almost the steal there. There it is.
Layton with the steal and then taken right back by Ray. What a swat away from Mercado.
Yeah, Deer Park's defense very aggressive, kind of almost a man-to-man, or maybe a box and 1-2. They're playing a little bit of both.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Alex Hobbs 4 for 4 from long range. Putting on a show tonight with the cameras out here at LaPorte High School.
You could just tell he's just exuding all of that confidence out there every time he touches the ball.
Shooting with rhythm and confidence indeed. Omar Reyes tries to answer, can't do so. Rodriguez the Karen.
Hobbs with all 12 of the points here for LaPorte. He has been the story so far for them. Deer Park has done a nice job on everybody else.
Looking at a man in Hobbs that's shooting over 50% from the field this year, considering all those three-point baskets. So very high percentage. That's not a high percentage shot. It's missed from Grant.
Yeah, that was kind of an NBA range three right there from Britt Grant.
Official didn't give us our media timeout halfway through. He promised one at the next dead ball. We haven't had one for several minutes. And there's a rebound into the hands of Grant. So a 5-point lead for the Bulldogs in the basketball here in our first quarter. District 21 5A action. The district at Westbrook 8-1, North Shore 7-1. There's the ball kicked out of bounds. And we have a timeout. We're going to step aside. 12-7 our score. The Bulldogs with the lead.
If you're looking for the best selection of crawfish on this side of Louisiana, the Louisiana Crawfish Hut is the place to go. Our seafood selection will make you go home completely satisfied with our dishes, such as our Oyster Louie and Hut Platter, not to mention desserts that will cure your sweet tooth craving. The Louisiana Crawfish Hut offers any type of atmosphere you're looking for, whether day or night, 7 days a week with the best service you will find around. Come in and watch your favorite team on any of our 16 TVs. The Louisiana Crawfish Hut, located off Highway 90 in Crosby, offering the best that Louisiana has to offer here in Texas.
Our game brought to you by Pasadena Health Center. Caring is what we do best. Brett Dolan, Jeff Power with you from LaPorte High School. A 12-7 lead for the Bulldogs, or should I say a 12-7 lead for Alex Hobbs.
Yeah, Alex Hobbs. I mean, he scored 19 points the last time these two teams played. There's no question about it. You know going in he's going to be the key for LaPorte. And he's been wide open with those threes. It's one of those things where, as a coach, do you want to give up the three ball or do you want to give up maybe something inside? I think right now they're going to have to shift what they're doing and bring someone outside to stop Hobbs.
You had a great point earlier, though. Hobbs on those shots, he's just looked like he's been shooting with the rhythm.
Yeah, you can see a shooter's eye and how that confidence just exudes out onto the floor. I mean, he had that look as he rolled right by us after the very first three. But
Justin Garcia into the game. The senior will operate the offense. Hobbs having a hard time getting open. You see the double team. And the foul was called against Austin Layton, trying to get that pin against the sideline.
Well, there's the double team we were talking about. That's what they're going to have to do, and they're going to probably follow Hobbs around everywhere he goes from this point forward.
Hobbs with a quick trigger, but contested, no good. Rebound into the hands of Daigle.
That was Hobbs' first miss of the night.
Austin Layton strong on the three, and Hobbs had the rebound, and he pulls it down.
And he averages about 4 rebounds a game. That was a nice, strong rebound. Got up high. He's only a sophomore, in case you didn't hear us earlier.
Colin Ray gets his own miss. My goodness, long range shot from Garcia. In and out again. We're nearing the 30-second mark of an entertaining first quarter tonight from LaPorte. Be a big hit if the Deer can get a shot this time. Down and on cue, the drive from late, but he couldn't finish. Couple of misses from point-blank range. Need to stop Hobbs. 14 points in the first quarter for Alex Hobbs. What a beginning.
Only 5 shy of what he got last time when he played Deer Park. That was a win last time for LaPorte, by the way, 64-54. Deer Park is 8-20 overall. LaPorte is 13-15, and we talked about the.
Well, the shot would not fall. Three-pointer at the buzzer from Chris Gonzalez. So the first quarter is open. All 14 points belong to Alex Hobbs, and it's the Bulldogs leading the Deer 14-7. a look at Louis Means, the coach of the Deer Park Deer. 31 years in coaching, but 29 in Deer Park. On the other sideline, Barry Gibson and his Bulldogs trying to get a very important win here this evening.
Yeah, no question about it. Both these coaches know the importance of getting this win against your rival. By the way, just to kind of put things in perspective, Louis Means was on that baseball coaching staff here at Deer Park when Andy Pettit played here in the 1990 state championship game. Of course, Pettit graduated from Deer Park High School and went on to play for the Astros and New York Yankees and so on and so forth.
Finished off an amazing career right here in Houston in his final start last September. Fantastic start for Alex Hobbs and the Bulldogs, 14 points. He's missed just a couple of shots, but made 4 from long range. It'll be the Deer getting the basketball first here to start our second quarter.
Yeah, Hobbs only 3 short of his average, and we've only played 1 quarter. Worth noting that Laporte, no other player on the team has made a shot yet, so more the reason to double team Hobbs.
There's Colin Means beyond the arc, trying to get him on track. He's had a field goal, 2 points in that first quarter. Last win for the Deer back on January 25th against Sterling, a 14-point victory.
Some new faces on the floor for Deer Park. Dylan Daigle with the ball right now, number 10.
Long range shot is drilled from Chris Gonzalez, and that's a big hit for the Deer.
Yeah, he's a 6-foot senior guard. Like to see those seniors getting in here late in the season. And there's a steal.
Means got the steal, a little bit of contact, no foul call. Rebound for Daigle. Boy, a spin move, but no finish from Bakdunas. Boy, there's been 3 or 4 shots for the Deer they'd really love to have back. Close range shots and misses.
Yeah, they should be leading this game if you think about it. They played good defense, as evident right here.
Very good defensive effort that time. A foul against Alex Hobbs as he got the ball right under the basket. And he'll have to earn a pair from the stripe.
I mean, eventually Hobbs is going to start missing that shot from the outside. And the way Deer Park has been kind of clamping down on defense underneath, I think they're in pretty good shape. It's just it depends on what Hobbs can do from the outside. But he's at the free throw line now.
Saw the foul on Chris Gonzalez. 15 points for Hobbs. And Coach Gibson said, you know, he's a man that has been face guarded. They've tried boxing once. Whatever they've tried, he enjoys the competition of trying to defeat the defenses. And so far tonight, he's had a big game, 16.
Yeah, that's always important. You know, you take whatever the defense gives you, you got to find a way to work through it. I mean, all the good players get double teamed and sometimes triple teamed.
Dylan Daigle trying to operate this offense. Colin Means controlling between the circles. No shot clock, of course, in high school basketball. The Deer trying to get into this offense, lead to an open look. Means went back door, but the pass was underthrown, intercepted by Garcia.
I think worth noting, Hobbs is an assistant coach. Alex's father, as another man finally hits a 3 right here for Laporte. Good shot.
Took 10 minutes of game action before somebody not named Hobbs with the basket. That's Justin Garcia. It's 19-10. Bulldogs with the lead and a whistle when it looked like Laporte had the steal.
Yeah, Justin Garcia had that good shot there, and here on the other side, Laporte trying to produce a steal, but they pick up a foul. Looks like it's going to be on
Garcia
here.
You see him with that reach around. That's a good call. That's going to get that foul every time when you do that tackle maneuver, even if you lose ball.
And it does kind of fall into that category of a hustle foul.
Omar Reyes well off the mark. 9-point lead in the basketball for the Bulldogs. A near interception from Reyes. Stepping out to take the shot was Rodriguez, but the ball ends up in the hands of Bakdunas. Boy, you know the Deer would like to get some open looks for Colin Means, their player averaging 13 a game.
Yeah, he is the go-to guy. He was open underneath just a second ago there.
Contested shots. Hobbs the rebound.
you want to take advantage of what the defense is going to give you, and they've definitely been working on Colin Means. It's time for some of the Deer Park players to kind of step up and be some go-to guys here on offense.
Hobbs posting up on the low blocks. Bulldogs with the basketball around the perimeter. Nathan Reed got his man up in the air and then gets the baskets.
And that's always the key right there. You want to get your man up off the ground, and then it's just simply a layup right there. Nice job.
First 2 points are Red, the sophomore. And a bumping foul called against Justin Garcia of the Porte.
A couple more subs coming into the game right now. If you can see here the foul underneath, and that one on Garcia there. Justine Garcia knew it, kind of tapping his own chest there.
Boy, Jeff, you really get the feeling, though, this is an important juncture for the Deer to try and get back in this game.
Yeah, it really is. They haven't really played that bad. The score doesn't really indicate the type of game it's been. The Deer Park Deer have missed a few shots, and of course Hobbs has been hitting just about everything from the outside with those 4 3-pointers and then a couple jump shots.
Down 11, you don't want to fall any further behind. Layton was open for a second. His shot was partially deflected by Rodriguez, who then grabs the rebound.
Deer Park needs to crash the boards a little better. In that case right there, nobody else around to help out. That's been one of their weaknesses this year. They've been pretty much out-rebounded in every game this season.
Size has been an issue, a miss from Grant. More than halfway through our second quarter. Laporte with the basketball, leading by 11. Boy, Hobbs got the step. He went with the left hand, could not convert.
Almost picked up the foul over there after the miss. That's a sophomore mistake. After you make a miss, you want to try to make up for it right away. It's not a good foul to make.
Want to stay away from the frustration issues. Meanwhile, the Deer again looking for some hits. Omar Reyes long. He's been long in a couple of shots. Brett Grant got up in the air, but he feeds Drew Harris, and that's a basket.
Drew Harris, just a sophomore, wide open underneath, doing a nice job of just getting open in the transition and scoring the basket.
We'll step aside, media timeouts. 3:06 to play here in our first half. 13-point lead for the Bulldogs.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
Change is inevitable. Time waits for no one. And those who look only to their past are rarely ready for their future. Never underestimate our ability, because after all, we are Texans.
Coach Barry Gibson's Laporte Bulldogs lead by a baker's dozen. 23-10, the Deer with the basketball.
It's an important 3 minutes right here with the Bulldogs up 23-10. The Deer need to find a way to get back in it. It starts with this possession right here.
They like the threes. They like the backdoor cuts. They've been few and far between here in recent minutes as far as what they've been allowed by Laporte. Long range shots wouldn't drop from Mathis.
Yeah, you might have overheard Louis Means there. Didn't really like that shot right there. They've had their chances down low. Have missed some shots down there, but you don't want to quit going down low because that's where the easy buckets are.
And the problem with that is, though, Jeff, sometimes they have to run that offense 25, 30 seconds before they get that open look. It's tough to do when you're down big, and that's what they're trying to avoid.
There's a good rebound right there for Deer Park. That's what they're going to need.
Colton with the pull, big-bodied forward. Now that is a strong dribble drive, but Layton a couple of times hasn't been able to coax that off the glass.
Yeah, got to find a way to get those to fall.
Alex Hobbs had that path cut off, but he continues under the rim. Grant, the lefty, was denied and hands it off to Rodriguez. Boy, I'd hate to see Rodriguez in pads and a helmet. That's a big man.
I was at that football game when these two played. It was an overtime thriller. In fact, Connor Means had the touchdown run to win it for Deer Park, 14-7. It is a good rivalry. Anyone will tell you. It's these two teams don't like each other.
Well, indeed. You learn that quickly with these two schools. Push shot wouldn't go. And the rebound comes down to the hands of Daigle. So the Deer have numbers. Daigle to the rim. Didn't have to go up and under. And then Colton grabbed the rebound, and he was fouled. He'll go to the strike for a pair. Laird Colton averaging a couple of points a game.
And that was the key. Colton followed that play down, was able to get the rebound. And I like Daigle pushing the ball up the floor. That's what they need. I don't think the set is working as well, the set offense. Get some transition going.
I like that too, but he get that little dipsy do, and he didn't have to. He had the open path to the basket.
Trying to maybe pick up an extra foul along the way.
Pretty good replay. We saw Hobbs flying in at the end, but he wouldn't have been able to get that shot off. Meanwhile, Colton now 8 of 14 from the free throw line for the junior this season. Splits a pair, and there's Rodriguez ripping down the Carroll.
You know, with the Bulldogs up 23-11, they might be pretty content to run a little clock here. It's going to be approaching 1 minute here going into the half.
See if they can locate Hobbs. The young man with 16 points. Drew Harris will bomb instead. Read the rebound. Down the lane is Harris. Hit the floor hard, and he'll go to the free throw line.
I like the determination there by Harris. Once he saw the lane was open, he just took it, dribbled all the way in, almost got the shot to fall on top of that, but picks up the foul along the way and goes to the free throw line.
The foul looked like it was almost more on the feet, kind of a push away from the jump than it was contact with the shot attempt. But meanwhile, Drew Harris now has scored 3 points in the game. It was a 14-7 score after 1 quarter with LaPorte leading. The lead has gone from 7 to 13.
LaPorte had an undefeated season in the 86-87 campaign. Defeated San Antonio Holmes to win the state title 64-58, and that's tough going undefeated in the state of Texas.
When you're starting to look at the number of games they played, Deer Park playing their 29th game, LaPorte playing their 29th game. A few more to play, of course, before the postseason round, so that's a big schedule. Right there, that would have been a foul call at the college level, not so much in the high school level. Spinning left-handed hook from Tyler Mathis. Big hit, the Deer needed that. It's a 12-point game.
Nice play right there. Mathis got open in the paint, immediately shot right when he caught the ball. That's key. Don't waste any time. Don't put that ball on the floor when you're inside the paint that close to the basket.
See if Hobbs gets a chance to touch the ball again. We're inside, 10 seconds to go. Here in the first half, a fast-paced first half. Brett Grant, NBA range. And that will do it for a first half of basketball tonight from LaPorte. Again, it was a 7-point lead after 1 quarter. It's now a dozen for the Bulldogs as we go to the break. 25-13 LaPorte on our Legacy Sports Network.
For over 25 years, Athletic Orthopedics and Knee Center has been recognized in Texas as a prominent leader in orthopedic healthcare. We have provided care for a multitude of high school, college, professional, and Olympic athletes, as well as treated employees with work-related injuries from over 200 companies. Our services include orthopedics and sports medicine, on-site 24-hour emergency room, physical therapy and rehabilitation. Each of our 6 physicians are world-renowned in their specialties and take pride in their patient care. We are located at 9180 Katy Freeway, Suite 200, or I-10 and Campbell in between 610 and the Beltway. You can call us directly at 713-984-1400 or visit us on the web at www.aokc.net.
Porte leading right now. It's been the Alex Hobbs show. 16 points here at halftime. They lead Deer Park. And we'll have much more on this game here coming up in just a few minutes. But we'd like to take a quick timeout and talk to you a little bit about a recent tournament that took place over in Pasadena. It's the McDonald's Texas Invitational. These two teams were in it, both LaPorte and Pasadena. In fact, there was a great game at halftime involving Deer Park as well, an alumni game against Pasadena. Here is the story. The holiday season is always gift wrapped with plenty of basketball in Texas. Phillips Fieldhouse in Pasadena was the site for one of the most prestigious basketball tournaments in the country, the McDonald's Texas Invitational.
This 11th edition of our McDonald's Texas Invitational is where we had 80 teams playing. We had 48 boys teams and 32 girls teams. We played at 10 venues in Pasadena and Deer Park. We had over 200 games. Our major sponsor, McDonald's, has been behind us since 2005. We have over 400 volunteers that help us. We have 250 sponsors that provides the seed money for this tournament. The City of Pasadena, the Chamber of Commerce here, the Education Foundations, the entire community is behind this event.
This is probably one of the best run tournaments in the United States. Mr. Metter, class person with the class people that work for him, coming to this tournament, keeping the kids in a nice hotel. It's just a great experience. That's one of the reasons we try to come down every year.
The coaches tell us this tournament is very competitive. We have a long waiting list each year of teams wanting to play, and we typically look at the various programs across the state, good traditions that bring very good competition into to this area.
It's one of the best places that the kids look forward to coming to. It's been great for us. Everybody's very, very congenial, cordial, accommodating, but the competition level, the atmosphere, the environment is just like playoff time, and you gotta love that anytime you can expose your kids to it.
Yeah, it's just great competition. It helps us get used to each other in certain situations. We played 5 games, conditioning paid off.
The Duncanville girls basketball team has a 15-game winning streak in this tournament as senior Tasha Foman rallied the Pantherettes from 14 points down in the second quarter against Manville to win the championship 56-50. Foman scored 10 of her 19 points in crunch time in the fourth quarter. Ariel Atkins also scored 19 points and picked up tournament MVP honors on the girls' side. Duncanville head coach Kathy Self-Morgan, who has won close to 1,000 basketball games in her high school coaching career, had to light a fire under her team to keep the streak alive.
Coach got on us, so, we ain't never seen Coach like that. So, she really put the fire in us, and we just was like, you know what, we got to turn it up now.
Coach pushed us. She gave us that fire. And we just told each other, like, this is not how we are. We're a team, and we play together. And if we're going to do this, we got to believe in each other.
Coming out here, these teams were ripe, they were hot, they were ready to get us, and it was tremendous for us to go back into the Metroplex and go back into our district to compete after playing here at the Pasadena tournament.
Now the championship game for the gold bracket would match up DeSoto and Fort Bend Bush. Now the Eagles came into this game. They actually won this tournament 3 years ago and have been the runner-up the last 2 years, but they knew they had a tough test in Fort Bend Bush. Ronald Monroe, the quarterback for Bush, he's going to play tonight. This was just announced. The DeSoto Eagles jumped out to an early 20-7 lead on the boys' side and never looked back against Bush. A bucket down low from Terry Maston, winning at 54-31. The tournament MVP was DeSoto senior post player Terry Maston, who scored 18 points against Bush.
It was great, actually. A lot of good teams, a lot of talent. So we learned a lot from it. We matured as a team. We got better as a team. I think we grew, actually, over the weekend, being together, even in, like, the hotel room. We got the championship, the win.
It just goes a long way toward us gelling and trying to become a better family.
We have over 50,000 fans that attend this event over the 3-day period. The 28 of our 80 teams are from out of town, and one of the things that we do here, we pay for all the lodging expenses for the teams from out of town. We give them $500 travel allowance.
Between the boys and girls, Duncanville and DeSoto have won 6 of these McDonald's Texas Invitationals. By the way, an alumni game of Deer Park and Pasadena players and coaches was also a big draw as fans packed the Phillips Fieldhouse to see some of the legends from this area. The proceeds from the entire tournament help educate students, which of course is the main goal here.
In 10 years, we've donated $1.2 million that goes back to the classrooms. We like to say that we highlight athletics and it benefits academics.
In Pasadena, Jeff Power, High School Spotlight.
Over Deer Park again with Jeff Power. I'm Brett Dolden. Thanks for joining us tonight, and it has been the Alex Hobbs Show. 16 points in this first half.
Yeah, he was just on fire, especially early on, hitting those 4 3-pointers to get things started. And really, Deer Park had to do a better job of kind of collapsing on him, got out of the rhythm a little bit, but for the most part of that second quarter, they kind of held him in check.
Just 5 field goals for the Deer in the first half. We'll see if they can get that corrected, get a few more in our second half. We'll be back to LaPorte High School after this on the Legacy Sports Network Game of the Week. Our game brought to you by Pasadena Health Center. Caring is what we do best. There you see our score, 25-13. LaPorte with the lead. And the Bulldogs will have the basketball first to start our second half.
The referee is Bailey Nance, along with Ken Hudson and Donnie Brown, Houston chapter, of course.
Doing a good job tonight. Back tap, rebound, and it will be out of bounds to the Deer.
So it'll be interesting to see how both teams, what adjustments they made at halftime. You can usually pick up on that early on in the third quarter, especially on the defensive side. Looks like LaPorte's in a man-to-man.
Deer Park again 5 of 23 from the field in that first half. The first opportunity goes here in the third quarter from Austin Layton, and that's a good start for Deer Park.
Yeah, that absolutely is a good start. You want to have that confidence right back coming out of halftime, and so you not only believe in what your coach is telling you at the break, but also it helps with your shooting.
You know, Layton had a few of those opportunities that did not drop in the first half after their big game against LaPorte the last time around. I have a feeling that's not the shot for Michael Rodriguez, and then he commits the frustration foul, bumping against Mercado.
Yeah, the old frustration foul. It does happen. You're the first one that knows you're going to miss the shot, so you crash the boards and you end up getting it over the back. In football, it might work, but not on the basketball court.
See if the Deer can get some momentum. Layton with a miss off the window.
Every shot critical, every possession critical for Deer Park. You know, in high school, you've got 8-minute quarters. You got to make the most of your opportunities down the floor. Deer Park, one of those teams that they're going to usually take anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds when they have the ball. So important to get a good look.
You know, it's a great point. You get so calibrated that maybe watching the NBA or even the college games, and you watch these high school contests, they just fly by, especially if you milk the clock for a lengthy possession. I'm not sure how that ball got in the hands of Grant, but the Deer come out of the pile with the ball. Tyler Mathis trying to get on track. All 4 points here in the third quarter belong to the Deer, and that's a timeout for LaPorte. We got a game again. 8-point contest.
That was a beautiful shot right there by Tyler Mathis, the 6'5 junior, going up strong. Watch as he fakes his man out. Nice kiss off the glass for 2. Good looking shot.
The left-hander working from that left side to get the basket. You see Coach Gibson with that timeout. He's very aware, as he told us before the game, that even though Deer Park 1-8 in district play, they played so many close games, and Jeff, you referenced that. It gets back to the strength maybe of this district with teams like Westbrook and North Shore, even Port Arthur Memorial. Just because you're not winning a lot of games doesn't mean you aren't capable of winning the game.
You know, 4 teams go to the playoffs, and if Gibson knows they've got to win this game tonight against Deer Park, and they need to win next week too. Those are 2 winnable games, and then they finish out the season with North Shore. But this is a team that's trying to get that 4th and final playoff spot, and they're a game behind Sterling right now.
4 quick points, though, for the Deer here in our third quarter, so the Bulldogs burned a timeout. We'll see what LaPorte can do. Again, Alex Hobbs had 14 points in the first quarter, had just 2 in the second quarter. I don't believe he's touched the ball here in our third until now. Young man who started every single game as a freshman.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, think back when you were playing basketball or whatever sport it was. I mean, to start your varsity team as a freshman, couldn't even do it back in the day.
Very tough, very impressive. Hobbs trying to create.
You know, you think about it in the college game, for a long time, freshmen were not allowed to participate at the varsity level, you know, in college athletics. And in high school, it's a little more common, but not so much in 5A and 4A. You know, usually you see it in the lower classifications.
5-second call on the inbounds play, and the turnover gives the basketball to the Deer. So they've done that a few times tonight, Jeff. They've really been able to come up with them some important defensive stands when they've kept the ball out of the hands of Hobbs.
Both these teams, they want to win this rivalry game. I mean, it's cliche, but definitely throw out the records when these 2 teams get together. That's a great-looking shot and the foul, the hoop and the harm.
Offensive foul against Layton, however. Oh. I want to see this one again.
Yeah, me too. I thought for sure. Well, good call.
College basketball, that's a block. High school basketball, called it a charge. You can't take that charge normally when it's not your man. That was the case, though, on that replay. So instead of that basket making this closer contest, Bulldogs with the ball back.
Rodriguez got a hand on it, but looks like it's going to be off of the Bulldogs. Looks like Britt Grant was actually touching the out-of-bounds line when he got a hand on the ball. So far, things working out for Deer Park here in the third.
Oh, what a block from Ambush, appropriately named. And the Deer get it back. Boy, another basket from Deer Park would really make things interesting here in our third quarter. Strong move from Means, able to get the foul, the bump from Drew Harris.
Yeah, Colin Means, where's number 3 there in your shot? He's very athletic. Really does a nice job of not only driving to the rim, but can get open. But look at the block right there on the other end by Cameron Ambush, as you said, fittingly named.
Open look for Means, left that one way short. Reyes had the rebound. Mathis, the left-hander, short.
Deer Park has already forced a few turnovers here, but they haven't been able to really take advantage just yet.
But Jeff, we're almost halfway through our third quarter. LaPorte has not scored here in this quarter. Until now, Britt Grant, first basket of the contest.
Yeah, 5'9" junior. That was a good move there by Grant. Also plays football here for LaPorte.
Boy, stepping out from long range was Reyes. Mathis tried to save.
Almost got the save there.
I believe we're going to have a media timeout. 4:07 to play here in our third quarter. The lead is 10 for LaPorte. We'll come back to LaPorte High School after this on the Legacy Sports Network Game of the Week.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
The time is now for live video highlights of your school's march to excellence.
News sets up inside of the pitch. High fly to left. It's up, it's deep, and it's going to be gone!
Legacy Sports Network brings you high-quality HD video broadcasted by the best in the business.
Handoff, Adam Taylor lunges to the end zone, touchdown!
This is one of the most exciting things.
With all the runs, hits, scores, and more, we're building a legacy one game at a time.
I appreciate Gerald. You guys at Legacy do an unbelievable job.
Join us on pay-per-view or video live streaming your favorite high school and college athletics at LegacySportsNetwork.com.
Legacy Sports Network is going to be bringing this presentation to your home.
Shot from Drew Harris did not find the mark after the media timeout. Remains a 10-point lead for LaPorte, but the Deer with the basketball back.
And you know LaPorte is averaging 54 points a game right now with just 27, only 2 points here in the third quarter. It's definitely been a lot of defense and a lot of turnovers.
I agree with the defense. There have been very few open looks unless maybe the ball carrier can beat his man to the rim. And as I say, that a wide open look, but Reyes off the front iron.
Yeah,
Probably the best look they've had in a while.
Reyes has tried that shot a few times and has not been able to hit it. And the way he's so open, I'd say dribble up another 4 or 5 feet and put that shot up from 15 feet.
Dribble penetration, though, has created maybe a couple of open looks, trying to save his Mathis, but he does so into the hands of Hobbs. Hobbs from long range, his 5th three-pointer of the game.
Yeah, Hobbs is just, he's feeling it tonight. That was a great-looking shot.
Boy, Means had the open look, but he dribbled in and got fouled by Drew Harris. Harris was just in the wrong place at the wrong time more than reaching.
Yeah, it almost looked like a good defensive effort there, but you see Hobbs here with a three-pointer, first of all, and he wasn't even really that open. Found a way to put it in.
You're shooting from 25 feet. You're probably going to be open enough. Whistle away from the ball. And the foul was against Mercado.
Yeah, Hugo Mercado there with the foul. He's a 6'2" junior.
Justin Garcia from the baseline for threes and a couple of triples tonight. And we've got a timeout called by Deer Park. They were down within 8, Jeff, and all of a sudden it's a 33-17 Bulldogs lead.
Yeah, Garcia there hitting the three. Of course, following up that Alex Hobbs three from a few moments ago. And you know, you're not going to keep LaPorte down for long, but Deer Park has to take advantage of their shots. When they're playing good defense and forcing turnovers, they need to make those baskets that are close to the rim.
The margin of error just not that large for Deer Park. Go back and take a look at this three. You see Garcia, he had all kinds of time just to load up, set up to make that shot attempt.
Yeah, that was a long-range three, no question about that. You see Louis Means there, the head coach for Deer Park. The Fighting Deer, that's been a kind of a tough season for them here this year. They are 1-8 in district play, but you try to, each and every game, despite your record, you try to improve. You try to find a way to build the confidence up as you play. You know, a win over LaPorte here would be a huge confidence builder for this Deer Park team heading into next year.
We did a Deer Park game last year on the Legacy Sports Network and CSN. It was against North Shore. It was a tough draw at home. At the half, I believe it was 25-2, and Coach Means joked about that before the game. He said, during that game, I went into the half and said, listen, guys, we can't do any worse than scoring 2 points in the first half. I suppose technically you could, but certainly he would not want to be a part of it. Deer had a pretty good beginning to this third quarter. You see the teardrop from Mercado not fall. And the ball belongs to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, those are shots that, and again, use the glass right there in that situation, but obviously you want to get your man up off the floor if you can, or a little pump fake, look inside when you're that open. That's if it's not falling for you on the outside.
Looked like the Deer had the trap, but now you see the Bulldogs content to run a little more clock unless they can get a good look. That's a wide open look. Colin Ray with the miss and the rebound to Mercado again.
And I think one thing you pick up on with Barry Gibson as the head coach for LaPorte is he gives a green light to his shooters.
Well, Colin Means has been well short on a couple of those long-range shots. Garcia had the previous long-range bomb. Not this time. The ball ends up in the hands of Mathis. There's Means going in against the big man Rodriguez, and you saw the contact.
Sometimes what happens in plays like that, as the foul going on number 44 here for LaPorte, but Colin Means going up hard, and Michael Rodriguez here does pick up the foul, but it's almost like Colin Means is anticipating the foul, so he puts it up a little bit hard. The key is you got to make the basket first. Don't worry about the foul.
I liked his effort to try and shield that ball, but you're right, too strong off the window. He makes the free throw, and he is a good free throw shooter, almost 80% on the season. This is a Deer Park team, though, that gets 30% of their made field goals from three-point range. You think about that number, Jeff, and that is certainly a big one. You know how many threes they've hit tonight in this game? One.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done.
They're going to call that a charge on Drew Harris. And that one I might have to see again. Not so sure.
And then Colin doing a nice job there. Colin Means of, you could say, acting, but he did take a pretty good shot there and hit the floor.
I heard Coach Gibson say he was sideways, and I think he may have been.
Here it is one more time as we take a look, Colin.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the calls.
A lot of contact. Coach Means, he's been up coaching all game long, trying to get a few calls here on the road. And meanwhile, the points have belonged to LaPorte, up by 15 as we near the 1-minute mark in our third quarter. Mercado up and under and in.
That was a nice shot by Mercado. I was just about to say they need to find some presence down low. That was a good job of driving to the basket.
It's a Deer Park team that doesn't have a lot of size. I like the frame from Mercado. Tries to get that steal, and he almost had it for a split second. Ray up over his shoulder and down through the basket.
Yeah, Ray's come off the bench here and looked pretty impressive. That nice little basket right there. You always need that Energizer bunny off the bench.
steal by Drew Harris. An awful lot of contact and a whistle as you saw the collision under the hoop. And the personal foul picked up by Chris Gonzalez, trying to get back and take away that uncontested layup attempt.
Well, and that's what you have to do. Gonzalez trying to make sure that there's no easy basket there. You pretty much know you're going to get called for the foul. Just make sure he doesn't make the shot.
Porte has systematically upped their advantage as you see that hack again, a hard foul. It's gone from 7 after 1 quarter, 12 at the break, now 15 going on potentially 16 with that make from Drew Harris.
Yeah, the last time these two teams met, it was a 10-point game, but sort of similar that LaPorte won each quarter and just eventually just built that lead up to 10.
Couple of good-looking free throws from Drew Harris, and the sophomore scored 6 points.
And I was going to say, tonight, Alex Hobbs kind of gave him that jump start. They didn't have to really worry about the lead too early on because he was hitting all those three-pointers, made 4 of them in the first few minutes.
He put the team on his back for the better part of that entire first quarter, a lead that they have not relinquished since. Looked like the Deer had a strong first 2 minutes to this third, but even this quarter going in the direction of the Bulldogs.
These two teams will be in 6A next year. Realignment on Monday over at the UIL offices. It's always an interesting topic, but this year, Class 3A splits divisions.
Dylan Daigle to the rim, strong move. Got away using that left arm to create some separation. And he gets the basket to make it a 15-point lead for LaPorte after 3. Back for the final quarter from LaPorte High School on our Legacy Sports Network game week. (37-22) our score in favor of the Bulldogs from LaPorte. Coach Barry Gibson trying to get his team their 4th win in district play, their 13th overall. And as we discussed at the end of our third quarter, they've increased their lead with every stanza, going from 7 to 12 at the break to 15. As we start our 4th quarter, the students out here tonight in full force. Maybe one of these weeks they'll get a full week of classes in.
Yeah, the ice has been a bit of a problem statewide. Affected some ball games last week. In fact, LaPorte wasn't affected at all this week, but Deer Park had to play last night to make up a game earlier on Tuesday when pretty much all classes were canceled in the Houston area due to the possibility of ice that really didn't happen. I wouldn't want to be a weatherman. It's hard to predict weather, isn't it?
I take the under every time, right? I take the opposite. That was a foul on Garcia. The Deer are going to make this a game. They need a couple of quick hits. Layton couldn't bank that one in from the baseline.
When we talk about the importance of LaPorte taking care of business and winning the games they're supposed to win, they look like they're in pretty good shape tonight. They'll play Channelview next, and that would put them in position to finish out the season, maybe get that 4th playoff spot. You never know. Once you get into the tournament, anything can happen.
Certainly that's the goal, though, at this point of the season, just to get in. Now you see the Bulldogs being very patient, running some clock, leading by 15 points.
In basketball, one of those sports where anything can happen once you get into the playoffs.
Boy, how about the move from Britt Grant? Averages 8 a game, gets a 2nd field goal. Really a athletic move.
Yeah, he plays that guard position well, and that's important to have another guard that can step up when Alex Hobbs is being double teamed.
Foul charged to Garcia. One thing I'm noticing over and over, Jeff, is the high school kids are going to have to get used to the college ranks. That is a foul in college basketball 100 times out of 100. You saw the facial expressions. We're starting to see that creep into the high school game. I don't think you can call these games separately. I think you need to apply the same emphasis in both levels just to keep it consistent.
Sure. And don't think that these kids don't watch the college game, too, and try to pick up things from the next level as well.
You talk about freedom of movement. That is an armbar. That's not freedom of movement. That's going to be a foul, and Dylan Daigle makes do at the line.
Anytime you make contact, especially your shoulders, you're going to get that body contact every time for a foul.
Couple of knockdowns from Daigle. That helps. He had 10 against LaPorte earlier this year. 4 points so far this evening. All of those coming here in our second half. For the most part, I think Deer Park has done a pretty good job defensively, but they really need to ratchet it up even to another level.
Just need more offense. That's the key. They play good defense, but you quickly see their troubles when they, even with the wide open shot, they can't seem to hit it.
I would agree, and you hope maybe defense leads to some offense, some turnovers. Certainly now you see the Bulldogs being very patient. They can take some of the air out of this clock, so to speak, and try and see some of those precious seconds tick away.
Well, and when you don't have the rebounding edge from game to game to game, which Deer Park has not had all season, then you feel like you have to take that shot from the outside. Other teams clamp down on you, and you get one shot.
That's it. Probably a full minute has come off the clock in this sequence. Grant had the drive to the basket in the previous possession. That time Wisely throws one out to Hobbs. It's kind of like going back in time 25 years in the college game when, of course, there was no shot clock at the NCAA level. Hobbs has hit 5 3-pointers today. He can't get number 6. And there's a whistle underneath, and I think this is going against Deer Park. Maybe Layton the personal, and that is indeed the call. Austin Layton. You see his expression as he watches the Bulldogs get to inbound. So after that long sequence of missed shot, now LaPorte gets it right back.
Yeah, Layton, a 6'1" junior guard. Wish he could have that one back. There's another foul.
Colin Means the personal, so that is 6 fouls on Deer Park to 7 for the Bulldogs. 15-point lead, that's what it remained after the third quarter. Each team has scored just 2 points here in our fourth, but again, there have not been many shots or possessions.
That's true. Also, just kind of noticing here that Hobbs is the only player on the floor with white shoes. You can always tell the shooters out there. They're the guys with the white shoes.
Third foul in about 20 seconds here in this sequence. Means with his second, and that's going to mean free throws now from here on out as far as the Bulldogs are concerned.
Back when I was playing, everybody had the same color shoes. Lace them up, high tops.
Wasn't very much variety, that's for sure.
You just put on your Converse and went out there and played.
Well, the Deer get the missed free throw from Harris, who just made a couple. But how about the steal right back from Drew Harris? You miss a couple of free throws, he gets the turnover, leads to a basket. 17-point lead for LaPorte. There was a bump on Mercado that wasn't called. Back comes Harris, and his pass was errant. Grant tried to run it down, and a couple of guys hit the deck in front of the student section. Officials doing a good job there, getting between the guys after a physical sequence. Here you see that previous steal and turnover.
Yeah, great looking shot right there underneath, and might have been a foul too, but no call, but nonetheless a great looking shot. This last sequence for both teams was kind of harem-scarum back and forth.
Tyler Mathis. We've seen Deer Park, Jeff, be short on long-range shots and hard off the windows on those short jumpers.
Yeah, it just comes back to the basics, the fundamentals of shooting.
Hobbs will pull the trigger. Silky stroke.
Speaking of.
21 points.
Great fundamentals there from Hobbs. Only a sophomore, can just hit from all sides of the floor.
Means had the open look. And we'll throw it out for a 3-try from Reyes. Doesn't work out for the Deer, but for Hobbs now, he's had 2 games against Deer Park, and he's had 40 points combined.
Yeah, he is the go-to guy for Laporte. And he's one of those players, again, that, you get into the postseason and Hobbs gets hot, who knows? It's hard to beat a team that can make a lot of three-pointers.
Boy, the Deer had numbers going the other direction, but a soft pass was intercepted.
Yeah, Drew Harris, he's playing a great game too. Defensively, also some good shots. There he is open.
Pass has been there a couple of times to Ambush, and he went hard over the back of Mark Deshay.
Yeah, once you miss that basket, can't afford that foul right after a shot. You see the shot put up there, and that basket doesn't count there because of the foul. Media?
Yeah. We're going to step aside. 3:32 to play here at our fourth quarter. Bulldogs trying to pull away. The Deer with one last chance. Pasadena Health Center. Caring is what we do best. Special thanks to our presenting sponsor here tonight from Laporte. Meanwhile, there's Louis Means of Deer Park. He knows his team needs to start hitting quickly, down 43-24 here in our fourth quarter. Not much time left. The Bulldog, well, he's tired because he's had a big game.
Got the red shorts on. He lost his jersey somewhere.
What happened to his shirt?
Colin Means last time was held to only 5 points against Laporte, and they pretty much held him in check again tonight, keeping him to single digits. He will go to the free throw line here.
It's 1 of 2 from the stripe tonight, 3 points in this game. And he'll earn the bonus.
I think more and more you're seeing freshmen and sophomores playing at the varsity level in high school, and you certainly see it in the collegiate level. A lot of teams with all freshman starters. And that's why you have the disparity the way you have now with North Carolina struggling, Kentucky struggling. These teams that have nothing but youth. All these freshmen out there playing. That rule needs to change. Keep them in for at least 2 years.
Nearing the 3-minute mark. Hobbs with a rare miss tonight, and then that ball just smacked into the stands off the hands of Mercado, so it'll remain Laporte ball, 3:07 to play.
Yeah, that's a rarity, seeing Hobbs miss a shot. He's got such great touch.
Deer Park wants a timeout. Our Coach Means at a microphone want to talk things over. 43-26, Laporte with the advantage. We'll keep it here, but again, Jeff talking about the importance of this game for Laporte. You'll want to win at home. You'll want to win your rivalry game. They won earlier this year at Deer Park, but a chance for them to move up 4-6 in district play and then see what can happen in this next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're on the heels of Sterling, who's 4th. That's what you're eyeing right now. Just get into the postseason. Definitely a winnable game coming up against Channelview. And then they'll finish out with North Shore, and that's going to be a tough game for them. So that's why they need to win this one and the next one against Channelview.
North Shore is one of those basketball programs, boy, they just keep on winning. Doesn't matter what year. Keep turning out outstanding talent.
And Westbrook, really a great team this year, leading the way here in District 21 5A. Beaumont Westbrook, often thought of as a football powerhouse, but this year really a great basketball team. They've had a lot of good basketball teams through the years. I'll tell you another team in the Houston area who's it's good to see them kind of back on top and playing really well, and that's Wheatley. There's a lot of schools across the the Houston area where you think about some of the tradition and some of the powerhouses from the past, and it seems like a lot of those schools are having success.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, after the timeout, Laporte with the ball. Hobbs will pull the trigger. My goodness. Into the hands of Tyler Mathis. The drive to the basket from Reyes. Somehow he ends up with the ball himself. Mercado lost it. Mathis the miss. And another whistle.
Yeah, it seems like Deer Park's just having some bad angles at the basket as well. Almost underneath it. Hard to make that shot when you're standing underneath the backboard. But nonetheless, they will head to the free throw line. Hugo Mercado. You got to like the effort here. They are definitely rebounding a little bit better here in the second half.
Well, Jeff, I like that analysis, though. We're talking about angles and positioning on the floor and being in a good spot to get a good look.
You got to know where you're comfortable shooting, and it looks like all night long Deer Park has not been comfortable in the spots they've been given to shoot. A lot of that is the defense. That's the coaching on the other side, trying to put them in positions that they don't feel as comfortable in. Whether it's the screens.
Porte has to get the ball across the timeline, and they do with a pass to Hobbs. And Hobbs was bumped hard on his way to the basket. He'll try and earn a couple of more points from the stripe. As Omar Reyes earned the personal foul. We'll see this again. Take another look.
Hobbs with a nice move right there and fouled going up, so he'll head to the free throw line. First shot's up and good.
Sold it with his eyes and the head fake. With 22 points tonight for Alex Hobbs.
He's a good one, only a sophomore, and again, he and Colin Means know each other so well. They push each other to be better.
(23 of the 45 points, though, have come from Hobbs. Hobbs himself almost equaling what Deer Park has put up tonight. We'll see if the Deer can find the range here with time running out. Tyler Mathis, the southpaw, with a good-looking stroke. The three-pointer for Mathis, the second from long range tonight. Mathis has made a three. Gonzalez had a three earlier. A timeout on the floor as we take another look with 2:06 to play.
Yeah, Tyler Mathis open, decides to put that shot up and right inside. Nothing but nylon. Good-looking shot there. Mathis has quietly had a pretty good game here for Deer Park.
7 points for Mathis. He averages 8 a game. You see Coach Means still trying to find a way to get some points to tighten up this game with 2:06 to play. And our officials tonight have done a pretty good job.
Yeah, they have done a good job tonight. I think they've called it fair on both sides. Bailey Nance, the referee, also Ken Hudson and Donnie Brown there in the middle. Bailey Nance on the left side, the referee, the Houston chapter here. And, you know, a lot of these coaches, they get to know these referees and officials really well and kind of get on a first-name basis with them, and that allows them to be maybe a little more critical at times on the floor.
And sitting courtside where we are tonight, we're privy to it all.
Yeah, we can hear it all, both sides.
2:06 to play tonight from LaPorte.
Of course, these two coaches have been around for a while. Louis Means now 31 years coaching, 29 here at Deer Park. He's seen a lot.
He knows his team just isn't big. They don't have quite that size that some other teams do. And
yeah, they have to shoot well.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, it's crucial, really.
Yeah, they're not tonight, and that's the difference.
Talk about that margin of error not being there when maybe you can't get the rebounds and the putbacks. Defensively, you know, you're going to hold a team to under 50 points. You'll take your cracks, and right now, LaPorte about 10 points below their season average as the knockaway comes from Mathis.
But still hustling out there. It's always good to see with a minute 44 to play in the game, down 15. You want to see those guys out there still fighting for it. And here comes some subs here for Deer Park. That's number 33, Cameron Lingo. And looks like Colin Means is checking out. Entire starting lineup coming out now.
Ken Shaw coming in. Orlando De Leon is in the game.
Cameron Lingo and
Chris Gonzalez, I think, also checked back in. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs going to their bench. Trey Farley seeing his minutes, replacing Michael Rodriguez. Chris Ortega also seeing his first opportunity here tonight, but Hobbs still in the game. Drew Harris holding the basketball. He's played well. 8 points, the 5'9" sophomore.
Harris, one of those players where he likes to make things happen. He's a good compliment to Hobbs.
Kenny Shaw comes back. Can't get the basket. Still alive. Who wants it? Harris had it briefly. Hobbs comes out of the pile with it. And Britt Grant controls. A lot of players that like to use their left hand in this game, which seems somewhat unusual.
That's an art. Not easy to do. Certainly not shooting it if you're right-handed.
1 minute to play tonight from LaPorte. Another steal. Back Dunas. Tried the no-look pass intended for Lingo out of bounds. Bulldogs ball.
Anytime you get a chance to get some of the substitutes in, you want to make something happen, and sometimes turnovers happen. You're trying too hard. You know, it's your one chance to get in on the game. I was once brought into a game with 4 seconds left.
There you go.
I got a 3-second violation.
Well, you made good use of your 4 seconds.
Made the stat sheet.
Trey Farley, the miss, got his hands on it, but it ends up back with Harris. And now Grant, inside 30 seconds to play. Ortega can't save. It'll be Deer Park basketball.
So it's going to be a good win for the Bulldogs. Did what they had to do tonight to win the game, played good defense. Winnable game coming up against Channelview, and then we'll see what happens from there.
See if the Deer pull the trigger. Gonzalez will. It won't find the mark. And this ball game belongs to LaPorte. A 45-30 win over the Deer Park Deer from LaPorte High School. We'll take a break and come back to LaPorte on the Legacy Sports Network. Friday night, game of the week.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
For over 25 years, Athletic Orthopedics and Knee Center has been recognized in Texas as a prominent leader in orthopedic healthcare. We have provided care for a multitude of high school, college, professional, and Olympic athletes, as well as treated employees with work-related injuries from over 200 companies. Our services include orthopedics and sports medicine, on-site 24-hour emergency room, physical therapy and rehabilitation. Each of our 6 physicians are world-renowned in their specialties and take pride in their patient care. We are located at 9180 Katy Freeway, Suite 200, or I-10 and Campbell in between 610 and the Beltway. You can call us directly at 713-984-1400 or visit us on the web at www.aokc.net.
How much do we need to fill? Back at LaPorte High School, 45-30 the final this evening. LaPorte with the win, and we touched on it maybe at the end of the game, Jeff. A pretty good defensive effort really by the Deer and really by both teams, just not enough points
for Deer Park, and one man carried a lot of the load for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Alex Hobbs. He was just sensational for LaPorte, 23 points on the night, and that's what they needed. He started off hot with the 4 3-pointers, and that really set the tone for the entire game. He looked so confident out there, and the way he was hitting those 3-point shots, Deer Park had to kind of come out of their defense a little bit. I think it maybe rattled them, and then as the progressed, other players from LaPorte started getting pretty hot.
It was 14-7 after the first quarter. All 14 points belonged to Hobbs, and we talked about it. They were able to extend that lead at half, extend the lead into the third quarter, and just keep increasing their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way they did it the last time they played Deer Park. So LaPorte sweeps the series against Deer Park, and next up for them will be Channelview, and that's a game that they could also win, and before you know it, they might get that fourth and final playoff spot. They'll wrap it up with North Shore.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. For Jeff Power and our entire Legacy Sports Network crew, I'm Brett Dolan saying good night from LaPorte. Again, our final 45-30. The Bulldogs win over the Deer. Good night, everyone.